So this is on trail day 127. It is Sunday, November the 8th, 2020. I'm leaving this camp spot that I stayed last night, about a mile north of the shelter. And we're going to do either 10 miles to a campsite at the suspension bridge or 15 to the pre-shelter. Just depends on how it goes. So I made it to the exit for the Malpin Field Shelter, which is where I had intended on going last night. But and it looks like that's the AT just came down. Looks like there's some really nice camp spots here in this area. So typical kiosk. There's a lot of day hikers out today. So I don't know what view they're going to see. We're going to go over 3 ridges, so maybe there's a good view there. So I wasn't going to go down to the shelter, but the next water source isn't for 9 miles, so considering I only have a half a quart of water, down to the shelter to get some water. You can see some backpacks, so I don't think it's very far. We'll check out the shelter though if we can. A lot of tent sites. Privy's right over there. A bunch more tent sites with fire ring. Still some people camped here. Not a bad spot. So that's the trail going north, and this is the trail going south. I'm about a mile from the top of 3 ridges. It hasn't been too bad. For the most part, the trail's been at a decent grade. There's been a few rocky places, but no leaves on the trees. So I'm like 7 miles from the camp spot. It's 1 o'clock. So that's probably where I'm going tonight. The priest shelter is at 4,000 foot. And the campsite's at like 970 feet. So it would be considerably warmer at the camp spot than it would be at the priest. So I guess I'll save that 3,000 foot climb for in the morning. Nothing like a climb first thing in the day, which is what we're doing today. I'm not quite to the top yet, but it's a nice little view spot right off the trail. If I had to guess, we're going up that and then kind of over that way somehow. I don't know for sure. Still got some leaf color down below. So I made it to the top of 3 ridges. That's the trail going north. It's not, well, There's a side trail here. It looks like it might go to a view. I started to say there's not any views, but I think we'll get one. Put in all this effort to get here, might as well. Got a little bit of something. A camp spot here. That's the cool thing about the national forest. There's usually no shortage in camp spots. So now we get to go downhill for a little while. The next shelter is like almost 3 miles. So it's almost 2 o'clock. I may stop there for a break. And then go the next 3 or 4 miles to the camp spot. It's been kind of slow going today. It's like that. Some days it's like you get up and you're just all raring to go, and on other days you're like, just like life in general. A decent little view. Oh, still coming down. That was 3 ridges. I'm still going down it. Not too bad. May have another one coming up, I don't know. This is kind of cool. I'm just walking along this ridge. A pretty good view. The trail got kind of steep there for a little bit, but not very long. Three Ridges Mountain would definitely be a steeper climb going northbound than it was southbound. There's another little trailside view spot. A little flatter over here. So I'm about a mile from the shelter, and I think like 4 miles from the tent spot. So I'm definitely going to stop at the shelter and take a break, I do believe. And then go from there. And the trail turned into a rock slide. It's gotten really rocky. So I'm about 0.5 from the Harper's Creek shelter. I was going to take a break and do like 3 more miles, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling it today. I've had days like that, so I think I'm going to stop at the shelter. My feet are still hurting, so I'll let them rest. Have a good dinner. Hopefully go to bed early. Get a good night's sleep like the night before. It's funny, last night I woke up like wide awake at 2 a.m. because my tarp was all lit up from the moon. The light of the moon wakes me up at night. But the sun bright in the morning doesn't. Well, I've been doing this long enough to know when to call it quits and when to just push yourself on. When it's the lazy part of you talking versus your body trying to tell you something. Although my feet do feel a little better today. I'm not exactly sure why they're so sore. They've been this way pretty much since I started the southern portion. The only thing I can figure is terrain was better, so I was just going faster, doing more miles, and they weren't used to that. If I keep having problems, then I'll have to figure something out. Figure out what's causing the issue. I saw a lot of day hikers earlier, but I haven't seen anybody lately, so I don't know if there'll be anybody at this shelter or not. If there's not, we'll check it out when we get there. This seems like a pretty nice place. Nothing fancy about it. I'll find a good camp spot and call it a day.